What is happening, everyone? It is Brad here, and today I am here with a review of the A Couple of Brickheads BOXABOIS. For those of you who've never watched ACOB before, I don't know what you're doing, you should go check it out, but this is their limited edition merch that they launched, and I actually picked it up at BrickWorld Chicago 2024. Right here, we've got the BOXABOIS. The set number on this one is 852021. This is the first ever 21 plus Lego set, which is really cool, and it has 228 Lego pieces, including a couple custom printed ones. It's got 2 Lego minifigures included in it, including Sean the Right Way and, of course, Brent's Bricks. We'll take a look at the box, of course, in this episode too, because the packaging really makes it. And right up here, you'll be able to see mine has the ACOB BrickWorld 2024 Convention Exclusive sticker, which I think is really special. Alright, so let's take a look at the 2 sets themselves here, which I just think are so cool. I had a ton of fun building both of these. They were a really good build. They use like basic bricks and basic building techniques, but the way they're assembled is like really well done. You might expect like influencers or content creators who are releasing merch to have maybe low quality, or it's just not that hard or not that difficult, but that wasn't the case for this build whatsoever. Like, they did a very good job really doing the build. So on the right here, we obviously have Sean the Right Ways. We've got his room set up right here and his custom Lego minifigure, and I'll go into that in more detail in a second. And then here on the left side, we've actually got Brent's Bricks, his minifigure, and his room as well. It's pretty cool because each of the rooms obviously really reflects their personalities, so we'll get into that a little bit more when we take a look at each room, but they're very similar. They use the same style of build, like the walls and the floors and stuff like that are actually the same, but the actual build and the sets in it are not. So before we take a look at the actual sets, let's take a look at the 2 minifigures included as well. Obviously on the left here, we have Brent's Bricks, and on the right, we have Sean the Right Way. As someone who spent a lot of time with these guys, I can say that these minifigures look just like the actual people in real life, which is really cool. Like, there's a very strong resemblance here. I definitely know that the torsos are custom printed, and I believe the faces are custom printed as well. So Sean here's got a pair of the sand blue pants, which are really cool, and of course the ACOB torso, which is awesome. That is their logo. It's all on black, and his face here, like I mentioned, it looks just like him. So it could be custom printed because it's so similar, but it also could be a print. I'm not entirely sure. And then he's got just a red hat on. He's always wearing a hat, so it's pretty cool to see. No back printing or anything like that on the figure, which is awesome. And then over here for Brent, he's got a pair of the olive green pants on, and he is wearing a custom printed shirt as well. His says heater, which is awesome. I love that they didn't include 2 of the same torsos, because that could have been easy to call it their uniform, but it's so much better that we actually get 2 different torsos. We've got his face here, and again, it looks just like him, so that's why it could be a custom printed face. And then he's got a beanie on, because if you guys know Brent, he does either wear a beanie or a bandana quite a bit. So very cool to see these 2 Lego minifigures, and like I said, they honestly look just like the guys. Let's take a look at Sean's room here first. This is actually the second one that we built from the instructions provided. This one's really cool, and they're both really cool, but I like Sean's a little bit more because it's got less Star Wars in it. You guys know I don't like Star Wars, and Brent always gives me a hard time for that. But it's really cool here. So Sean's got a pretty big desk right here. On the desk here, he does have a computer with a keyboard, as well as a soda or a beer or whatever you want to pretend it is. It has no label or anything, but it does have a pop tab, which is pretty cool. So this is what it looks like, and obviously it's got a chair in the background, so you could actually just position Sean. So he'd be, you know, sitting at his desk, getting ready to do the live stream of the week, which is really fun. So he's there and he is ready to go. On his right side here, or on the right side of the room, I guess, he's got the Disney castle. If you guys know Sean, you know he really loves Disney, so it makes sense to include a micro build of this one. I love the build there. It's really cool. I think this is definitely the smallest Disney castle I've ever seen, which is awesome. Right behind his head here, he does actually have a shelf on the wall, and held up on the shelf is a monorail, which is the old classic monorail. I'm not sure if he actually has that set, but it is a heater for sure. It's a really cool set. So many people in the community really like it, so it's pretty cool that he chose to include that one there. And then on the far left of his room here, he does have the Lego Star Wars Ewok Village, which I won't hold him against that. I know he's a big Star Wars fan, even though I'm not, but it's a pretty cool set. And what I love about this build is that you can really tell what each of the mini models are. Like, I haven't talked to the guys, I haven't watched other reviews of this video to know, like, they just did such a great job on the build and the design process that you're able to look at these sets and instantly know what they are. You know, you don't have to try and guess, and it doesn't look like some random micro build or something like that you have no idea what it is. Like, you can easily tell what it is. And I love just the layout of the build, of course. Like, it's got the bricks on the back for the wall, and then it's got the plates here with the tiles just to round it all off nicely, and it's a very solid build. Next up, we'll take a look at Brent's room here, which is basically like any Lego Star Wars fan's dream, which is fun. Of course, we've got another desk right here. This one's for Brent. It's a little bit smaller, and then of course you can take his minifigure and put him in the back here, just like you did with Sean there. So we've got a couple different Star Wars sets here. I believe it is called the Republic gunship, but I'm not too sure. Of course, next to his desk, that's where that is. At the other side of his desk here, he does actually have some 5 501st Battle Packs with the custom M&R print on it, which is really awesome. I love how they included that custom piece as well, and he's got like a little stack of the BOXABOIS there, which is cool. On his back wall, he does have the UCS Millennium Falcon hung up on the wall, which is really cool, and again, that is a very nice little build, and I'm glad that they included that. And then the other side of the room here, he does have a shelf, and on the shelf is the Diagon Alley set, I believe, which it is, Harry Potter. So very, very cool, again, that you notice, and I think that's what it's called, and if it's not what it's called, I just got it wrong, but it's definitely that Harry Potter set, which is really awesome. So lots of nice little builds. I love how in both of the guys' rooms right here, they do include things that are really suited to their personality and things that they are passionate about and that they like to talk about, while of course following the exact same building techniques of the Meech. And like I said earlier on Sean's model, all of the build techniques were really cool. They're simple, but also really effective. I really enjoyed making this build, and I love how it turned out, and I love how it looked. This has definitely blown my expectations out of the water for any future content creators or anyone who wants to do their own custom Lego sets, because the ACOB boys just did it right. Not only did they actually nail the design process and they nailed the set, all the pieces were there, and of course they absolutely killed it with the Lego box. So of course we've got the actual box here right up top, ACOB, BOXABOIS. All the set information here, like this looks like it could be a real Lego set, which I think is really, really cool. Like I think that's what makes it really neat, the fact that if you saw this on the shelf, you might actually think it is a real Lego set. Up here we have the ACOB BrickLoveber Chicago 2024 Convention Exclusive Edition. This is a sticker that goes on the box because I actually got this at the Lego convention. Of course, on the front here, we do have images of the two little mini builds that we get in it. Of course, the two Lego minifigures. I did get mine signed by the boys because I thought that would just be really awesome. Up here, we've got basically the intro to the show, which is really cool. What is happening, and welcome to your Thursday night delight. And then we've got the 1-to-1 ACOB torso, the set number here, and then heater building toys distributed by a couple of BrickHeads, which is really cool. So this is what the front of the box looks like. On the side here, it does say BOXABOIS, the set number again, and the two Lego minifigures. On the back, we've got more images of the set, the 1 in 10 chance of the full price Jones, which obviously I did not receive. We've got the bottom of the set here with the legal information, the product link, as well as Matte Black Bricks, the YouTube logo, and an ACOB link to go to their YouTube channel, the BOXABOIS barcode, and then on the side, just again, a BOXABOIS from a couple of BrickHeads. So I thought this was a pretty cool idea. They didn't actually do printed instruction manuals for the set, which makes a lot of sense because people will look at them once and then never again, and it's a waste of money. So what they did is they included this custom stickered ACOB piece right here, which is actually a 4x4 tile, where it's a QR code that actually takes you to the instruction manuals to build the set. So of course when you bought this set, you did have a couple options for some gifts with purchases. I believe everybody got this right here, which is the custom boys Pokemon card, which is really awesome. So it's got Sean and Brent on the front here, full price Jones, and just a bunch of like ACOB information, which is really fun. And then on the back here, it's like the Pokemon logo, except it's modified to say BOXABOIS, and the ACOB instead of the Pokeball, which is really awesome. So I love this card, and I'm going to hold this one near and dear, and I'm going to display it with the set. I believe if you purchased a few more, you actually got a 1x8 ACOB brick as well. And then if you purchased 10 of them, you actually got a full price Jones. But if you did purchase 10, you got a guaranteed full price Jones. But if you didn't purchase 10, you still had a chance, a 1 in 10 chance of getting a full price Jones from any of the other sets available. So I unfortunately did not get a full price Jones, but I did get to watch Nicole from Girl Bricks a Lot pull one, so that was pretty cool to see and at least know that they're in there, you know. And if I didn't already mention, they only made 135 copies of this set, and I got number 41. I was looking for 18, but unfortunately they didn't have it at the show, but still really cool the fact that it was such a limited edition run. So it's pretty cool to have one of 135 sets out there in my collection. Of course, I just want to give a huge shout out to Sean and Brent and Studlake for the amazing work that they did on this set. I am so excited for it. I'm so impressed. I'm really glad that I purchased it. I was on the live stream, bought it live, and just it's so awesome to have in my collection. So it definitely made the whole experience worthwhile, and I love being able to support a show that I watch so frequently and content creators that I love so much. I just think it was so successful because sometimes you see content creators do like merch and stuff. It's okay, but it's not amazing. But the fact that they released a set at the price point that they released it at and were able to sell 135 copies, I just think that shows a lot about ACOB and the fact like their fan base and their followers, like they are very loyal. So huge shout out to them. Like loyalty is really hard to build on the online community. So shout out to them for doing that, for getting us all to purchase these Lego sets because it's really awesome. So huge shout out to Brent and Sean for the weekly show. I love it. And of course, huge shout out to Studlake for pulling this all together. So all right, everybody, thank you so much for checking out today's review of the A Couple of BrickHead BOXABOIS. I am super excited to have this set in my Lego collection. And like you guys saw, it is a very impressive set. It was a really fun build. And yeah, this one's going to look really great right on my shelf, and it's actually, from now on, gonna go right back here, right on the main shelf, right on the main display, so you'll be able to see that in future LEGO videos. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course, subscribe. And like I said at the start of this video, if you haven't already checked out a couple of BrickHeads, do so. I don't know what you're waiting for. Go check them out. They're awesome. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all here in the next one.